So in this video we're taking a look at the Anbernic RG Cube, and this is another device sent to me by Litnxt, and spoiler alert, this is my favourite Anbernic device so far, but it does have a slight issue. So without further delay, let's dive in. So first of all, let's get the boring bit out of the way. This device was sent by Litnxt for review, but as always my opinions are my own and my own alone. Now I've been really excited about this device because, as you guys know, I really love my powerful handhelds. So I've been looking at more and more of the ones that run Android recently, and this is no exception. So I guess the first thing we'll do is an unboxing. Then we'll look at the device in more detail, and then we'll go over the specs. So I'm sure you've all seen an Anbernic box before, but it's in plain white with an outline of the console itself. And then we can see they do it in beige, white, grey, purple and black. We of course have got the black one. So as we open it up, we've got some foam on the top, and that's just to protect the device in transit. And then the device itself is in one of those bags, but we'll just put it to a side for a moment. Let's see what else you get. So we have a tempered glass screen protector, that's really nice to have, and then we've got some instructions which I never read. Next in this box we have a USB to USB-C cable, and this is just for power delivery, it doesn't do data, so you just use this to charge up the device itself. So let's take a closer look at the RG Cube. As you can see, it's quite a small device, but it's got a little bit of weight to it, so it doesn't feel cheap. So if we look on the top here, we have a 3.5mm headphone jack, an SD card which I added my own, then you've got a USB-C port. On the bottom we can see those two downwards facing speakers, nothing on the left. And on the right we've got the volume up and down along with the power button. Now of course you have all the other usual buttons, A, B, X, Y, L1, R1, L2, R2, etc. We've got two analog sticks and these feel really nice. We've got a D-pad, of course a start and select, and then we have a home and back button, and last but not least we do have that Anbernic button that brings up kind of a UI where you can select your systems and games. It's the same thing that they had on the RG405M. It's really cool and easy to find your content. So I thought I'd compare it to the Game Boy Color just so you can get an idea of the size, and as you can see it's not that much bigger, so it is pocketable and it's easy to carry around. Next, let's listen to the buttons to see how clicky they are. So now it's time to go over the specs. It's got a 3.95 inch IPS screen which is OCA full lamination multi-touch screen with a resolution of 720 by 720. The CPU is a UMSOO T820. It is a 6nm processor which has got 8 cores, and we're not going to go through the speeds of each core. The GPU is a quad-core Mali G57 at 850 MHz. The RAM is 8GB of LPDDR4X, and we have 128GB of UFS 2.2 storage that's built in. It's running Android 13, and it does have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. On the Wi-Fi 2.4 and 5 GHz, 802.11, ABGN and AC, and Bluetooth 5.0. It has of course got an SD card slot, and it supports up to 2 TB, And then of course the battery is 5200 milliamp hours, which will give you about 7 hours of usage. Now of course take this with a pinch of salt, it all depends what you're doing, if you're playing 16-bit games, if you're watching YouTube, or you're maxing it out and playing PS2 or GameCube games. So on paper at least, this device should be playing PS2, GameCube and pretty much everything before it. But as you guys know, the proof is in the pudding. So before we actually jump in and start doing some gaming, we're going to have a quick look at the screen itself, have a listen to the speaker to see what that sounds like, and then what we'll do is we'll use the capture device to not only capture the footage but also show you the screen itself. So let's go ahead and do all that now. Now there's not much to talk about here. It's Android 13. As you can see, there's loads of emulation apps already pre-installed. One thing I will say is those RGB analog sticks look amazing, and even though the screen's 720 by 720, it's nice, crisp, clear, and it's really bright. Now the speakers on this device, even though it's quite small and it doesn't have much bass, it really packs a punch. Having the volume set to 100% is just far too loud for me. You're just never going to need it. So I have it about 60%, which seems to be pretty much spot on. So let's go ahead and test some other games. We're also going to connect it to the capture card so we can see that video output.
You will suffer for this! Don't let him open the door! The battle is ours! We have him where we want him!
Round one. Fight!
So as you can see, this device is really powerful. You've got your PS2, your Wii, your GameCube, pretty much everything before it. But not all games are going to work, and it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Unfortunately, because of that square 720 by 720 aspect ratioed screen, it's not going to show everything perfectly. So some tweaking may be required, and of course, if you are tweaking it, the screen gets even smaller, so you might find yourself thinking, I wish I'd have gone for a normal screen with a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. And of course, Anbernic have you covered there as well. So if you head on over to the Litnxt website, you'll see the RG556. It's the same specification as the RG Cube, but you've got a more traditionally sized screen. I'll also link the RG556 in the description below so you can check out that device as well. So in summary, the RG Cube is most definitely my favourite Anbernic device so far. And you're probably wondering, are you doing a giveaway on it? Well, I will, but there's no rush on this one. I'm enjoying the device so much, and there's so much else I want to try on it. I'm going to hold fire on that at least for a couple of months. So it really must say something if I'm not willing to give it away straight away, because you know me, I always give these devices away. But this one, I feel like I'm going to hang on to it for a little bit, get some enjoyment out of it. And one of the other things I want to try is installing a custom firmware, just like we did with the RG405M, so we can get even more performance out of this device, which I do think it's got a bit more to give. So just before we end the video, I just want to give another big thank you to Litnxt for sending this device. They're also sending me the RG40XXH and the Powkiddy V10. And the V10's in atomic purple, so I can't wait to review that. Those two devices will definitely be given away straight away. So one last thing before you go, if you enjoy my content, don't forget to like, hit that subscribe button, give that bell a little tinkle so you don't miss any future uploads, and of course consider joining the Patreon because we're always giving stuff away and we have a secret Discord. I'm JP, you've been watching Alien Gaming, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.